Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to the Urban Network podcast. This is pretty exciting. This is our first in-person podcast. We have a very special guest today, Melody Rose. She's the lead organizer of Urban Network and their events, and also the founder of Rose Concepts. Melody, thank you so much for coming to join me in person for this podcast.
Yes, thanks, Hewitt. Thanks for having me. This is excellent. It's lots of fun.
So awesome. Yeah, Melody and I have known each other for a while. We met at Urban Office, where we're actually recording this right now, a couple of years ago. And we've worked together. We've I've used the cake here to have a couple beers at the end of the day. And, and we've had a wonderful experience working on Urban Network and their events together as well. So
beyond that, though, we've shared clients and we've grown with each other and we've shared, all kinds of wealth of stuff from this floor. It's a really amazing place. When we all can get back together, you guys should check it out.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend if you ever need a co-working space, a place to focus, get away from the house and maybe just grind and meet some other business owners, definitely consider giving Urban Office a tour. It's really an amazing, almost a magical space.
It is magical.
Yeah. So, Melody, you're the leader of Urban Network. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the history of Urban Network?
Sure. It was set up originally about the same time Urban Office was created, and it was started by Adrienne Bonzi, who's with the Kelly Group, real estate gal. Go and get her and whatnot. And she needed to step down from the play. She had children and had all these other obligations, and graciously asked if I wanted to continue to run it. And I just was happy to take on the opportunity. And then also invite you and Jason to co-host with me and kind of co-manage so we can kind of upgrade this place. So I've been kind of leading for about a year, I guess, and Urban Network has been around for about 2 years, I think, 2 or 3 years. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I got involved with Urban Network because they always would be in-person networking events that would take place at Urban Office.
Yeah.
And I helped Urban Office with their social media, and then started helping Urban Network with some social media and photography, and then got brought on to a more kind of leadership position.
Yeah.
And it's been a pretty great journey, especially starting this podcast. That was a cool way to pivot to the virtual meetings that have occurred during the pandemic. How do you think it's been going with Zoom meetings?
So our meetings are shorter. But I think when people have showed up, I think it's really kind of impactful. We can have a little bit longer time communicating with each other. It's up to you if you want to have a glass of wine at your desk or whatever. But it's pretty cognizant to working and learning who the host is and what they have to offer to the workforce and small business. I think if you're a small business owner and you're looking for some reputable and positive, strong referral partners, this is probably a place you want to check out. Now that it's a virtual space, you only need to invest an hour once a month, whereas before we were probably visiting for 3 or so. But no cake and pie. So the difference is. The folks that are showing up are the ones that are going to continue to drive force throughout this pandemic and recreate themselves, I guess. And, we all have to create a new definition and meeting together. So I don't know. I've been quite pleased. The show-ups haven't been as intense because in person we would have 50 at a time or 20, 50 at a time. And now we have smaller groups. But I think that shows an advantage because we can clearly talk to each other on how we can help each other grow.
Yeah, it's not as big as a time commitment when people can just zoom in for an hour. So that definitely adds a convenience as well as it being a safe environment. I also want to mention that we're participating in a safe environment right now. I mentioned that we were meeting in person, but for the people that are just listening on audio, we're also wearing masks.
We're totally masked up.
Yeah, we're masked up.
We also have giant rubber gloves on.
Yes.
For no reason.
And that's only for the people that are listening to the audio version of this. Don't check the YouTube to check the gloves.
There's no rubber gloves.
Where would you like to see Urban Network in a year? Like, I think it has a lot of potential.
Yeah.
Where do you see this going from here?
Yeah, so I think every year and every like new theme of what the year is bringing is the chance for its own evolution, right, for Urban Network. Um, in a year's time, I would hope that we could have an ancillary mastermind that maybe is more focused and dedicated on specific growth moves that small businesses want to make. I've had the mastermind like this before, and I found them really productive. So I'm hoping we can have that. And I also really just want to attract people that are, practicing their public speaking skills and really have some kind of value for small businesses. I think we're only going to grow, really. We're only going to grow, and I think that it's going to continue to have this positive posture of referring to each other, not necessarily selling directly to each other.
Yeah.
It's a fine mix.
Yeah. So also, if you're interested in attending one of Urban Network's events, go to urbannetwork.biz. They normally occur on the third Thursday of each month, and they're free. So feel free to check out urbannetwork.biz to register for one of our upcoming networking and referral events. And switching gears, Melody doesn't only run and manage Successful Networking Group, she's also the founder of growth agency Rose Concepts. So Melody, why don't you talk a little bit about Rose Concepts and the services that you provide?
Yeah. Well, in a traditional sense, we're a marketing house. We do marketing strategy and marketing work. That would include all of the traditional things you'd think of, web and radio and branding and communication. But as I've grown as an individual and working with other small businesses, I've kind of gotten outside of the laces of marketing. Our agency is more focused and it can help more the companies that have like a direct goal. They have a specific thing or they're in a growth place. So how we're a little bit different than a regular marketing house is we do take a very organic splay and bird's eye view of your business. And, if we decide that there's other professionals that might help that client get to their goals faster or with a little bit more knowledge and empowerment, it's just a natural thing that I've been doing as a connector. So insurance, IT support, attorney support, counseling, public speaking support, all types of different things that come up with each individual business's goals. And where we don't fill in, we help create a more solid background for that small business guy. So we're a growth agency where we're not just taking orders from the client to just continue to exist online, to just have appearance. We are the agency that's really going to help the small business that is in a place of growth and awkwardness. Maybe their team is a little too small or it's too big. Maybe they need to redesign the organization and some of the departments so as to create a better flow. And that's how we are slightly different, because we kind of adjust we take a bigger bird's eye view of how things are working together. Yeah.
And what have you noticed regarding growth for business owners and entrepreneurs during the pandemic?
Well, the most obvious thing to me is that we're, not meeting in person anymore. And I can't tell you how many small businesses a year ago were resistant to having their productive workers as virtual workers working from home. And I think that I have learned from some of these small businesses that have had no choice but to revert to this virtual group learning and group workflow that it's quite productive. It actually works. And in that, we've been able to help small businesses navigate maybe taking what they would pay in their lease and use that more towards customer service or hiring another employee or investing a little bit more in their marketing bottom line, things like that. That has been, I think, the most interesting step because the resistance was so very clear. Oh, I can't have, my team, my workforce working from home. They won't work for me. And I think a lot of folks have realized that in some capacities they're getting more production, and also learning a little bit more about their employees so as to cater to them and to keep them. And this loyalty part is kind of evolving too. So I think that whole new thing of not being present but still being present, that's a big evolution, really big in the workflows and in the workforce, and also engaging in the office.
Yeah, I bet that this situation might even provide like an advantage to some businesses who cut back on overhead costs and are able to reinvest into tools and like in their marketing budgets and in internal processes.
Yep.
So do you have any advice for business owners, small business owners that might be listening?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the advice is grand, but I think that more than anything is taking one little step back and understanding how your business has been affected by the pandemic. If it hasn't, then keep on moving along. But if you can see that maybe your business was dependent on handshakes, what have you done to evolve that? I think one of the things we need to do is kind of go with the flow and kind of be a little bit more patient than we used to be. And our listening skills have to be like hyper focused, because sometimes our clients are telling us one thing and we hear another, and our employees too. I think now that we can't physically be in presence with each other, our ears have to be perked a lot bigger so that we can make sure to arise,
Yeah, hey, as they say, patience is a virtue.
It should be,
yeah. Melody.
Yeah.
How could people figure out more about Rose Concepts, learn about your business, and get in contact with you?
Yeah, you can always email me, melody@roseconcepts.com. You can go to my website, roseconcepts.com. We have a couple forms in there you can fill out. You can also call me, and who we're really able to focus and help are folks that have like a specific goal in mind and growth, and like maybe have a little bit of experience in a cycle of growth. Not that we don't like to work with like brand new startups, but we really do find a giant value in helping small businesses move up to the next rung that have kind of been there for a while. So you can, if you go through my website, you will get a request to fill out a form, and that's the only thing I ask, because if you fill out this getting started worksheet, will help me understand where you are, what your goals are, and then I will in return give you a free hour of consulting time with the information that you've given me, so our time will be productive.
That sounds like a great deal for anybody who's wanting to take their business to the next level.
It's a lot of fun too, and honestly, it's really an honor to work with small businesses and have them be vulnerable from the first step and kind of show like some of the things that they're working on and their weaknesses, or talk about their competition. It's really an amazing feeling and a cool thing to just earn trust and help people grow. And over time, like their posture changes and they're so much more proud, or they feel safe, right, at work and in their business. And I think that's a real big thing that we're all fundamentally trying to catch on to here in America.
Hey, and it's been an honor working with you on the projects that we've collaborated on.
Oh, yeah.
I just want to say, Melody, if you've met Melody, you know that she's one of the most transparent, genuine personalities and professionals that you'll have the opportunity to work with.
That's really nice of you to say.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Of course. Well, that was kind of everything that I had planned to talk about. Thank you for coming on today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, and for anyone who's interested to learn more about Urban Network, go to urbannetwork.biz.